Ronald Moultrie is out. We've got that and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. I have long called Moultrie Heckle. Bray and Moultrie were Heckle and Jekyll at the UFO hearing, the very first UFO hearing in modern times, and they just lied their butts off. But Ronald Moultrie is leaving. That's right. The former boss of the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick is stepping down. Per defense.gov, Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security Ronald Moultrie will step down from his position at the end of February. Of course, it seems to be a voluntary exit, an honorable exit from an agent of the control group. He almost certainly has to be an overt agent of the control group, just like the lovely SK. SK, or at least Arrow, is no longer under the purview of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. But will things get better without a tool of the control group in that position? Well, they'll probably just get a new one. But hey, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Oh, and then there's this. Sounds about right. Meanwhile, check this out, guys. This is amazing. This is huge, guys. Literally huge. This is the replica of the giant skull found in Peru, presented by Joseph Ben Levi. And it's a little hard to make out with the lighting here. I can't tell quite how big the nose is. It looks like it has a very flat face. But you remember with the Nazca mummies, there was the 3 giant hands, the tridactyl hands. And it was estimated that the beings they belonged to were 3 meters tall, about 10 feet tall. And all we had were the hands, but we were told they were bodies. Bodies, y'all. 10-foot tall, giant alien bodies, guys. And the hope was they were going to reveal those bodies at the next hearing, and I still have some hope that that will happen. I think that we might at least get the heads, or at least one of the heads. This is, again, the replica of one of them. We know that one of these skulls of these giant beings wound up in the hand of a private collector. Will that private collector make these specimens available to study? Is he allowing them to be shown, or it to be shown at these hearings? I don't know, but this is super fascinating. I love it. We've got giant aliens, y'all. We got the bodies of giant aliens, or hybrids, or whatever they are, and we might just get a glimpse of them at the next hearing. There's going to be a major hearing potentially in Beverly Hills and another one in Peru coming up in the next month. Supposedly. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. But super exciting times, guys. We are living in the age of UFO disclosure. We've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies. Meanwhile, I thought I'd do an update on MH370. I haven't done an MH370 video in a long time. Ashton Forbes regularly comes out with new information about MH370. I've been really hoping for something more definitive, some new sources of information on that, whatever those would be. But we're not getting that. I do think something funky happened with MH370. I don't know if it was, UFOs that, portaled this plane out. And I want to be very respectful of that incident because so many lives were likely lost during that incident and many families affected. But if those lives weren't lost, if those people are missing, we owe a duty to those people and those families to find the truth of this. And so I really salute Ashton Forbes in his research on this. And one of his latest tweets, he says, in this synchronized version of both videos with the drone video inverted and color stripped, you can estimate the location of the drone in the satellite video just cropped out of view. The clouds in both videos line up. The drone video has dynamic parallax clouds. This would require a fully 3D rendered environment and rules out 2D cloud assets, because that was one of the debunkings on MH370 was these 2D stock imagery. And Ashton saying is, nope, sorry, that doesn't make sense because there were no 2D assets involved in the creation of this footage. If this was a piece of disinformation, it was an extremely elaborate piece of disinformation, utilizing information that was classified at the time, the satellite imagery information. So it was either deliberate government disinformation, hiding some, skullduggery on their part involving this plane, or else it was a genuinely anomalous event. I don't know which one it was. At least that's the way it looks to me, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Meanwhile, check this out. The DOPSR email thread for David Grusch's request has been released. Check it out. This is really interesting. Actually, it's only mildly interesting, but this is official correspondence between David Grusch and DOPSR. You can see things like this. Vague references to sensitive areas like this are not a problem. If there had been something more substantial, then further review would have been necessary. And you get this kind of questionnaire thing. They had to get the wording of this questionnaire approved. Can you expand a publicly unknown Cold War for recovered and exploited physical material that has been waged under the noise floor for decades? Question, what recovered physical material are you referring to? What is the nature source of the material? When was it retrieved? How many programs did you uncover? Are they still active today? Of course, you don't get the answers to any of those things, but you do get the questions. Well, I've got questions. Meanwhile, we've got the first private landing on the moon. Check this out. And a venture blending government ambition with private innovation, the Houston-based Innovative Machines, in partnership with NASA, is poised to make history by attempting the first moon landing of a commercial spacecraft with its IM-1 Odysseus lunar lander. The event will signify the first time in more than 50 years that an American spacecraft will land on the moon's surface. The last U.S. spacecraft to perform a soft landing on the moon was NASA's crewed Apollo 17 mission in 1972. Just really interesting. We've got private companies going to the moon. It's just a really interesting era that we're living through. Very exciting in some ways. Alarming in other ways with Elon Musk partnering up with the Pentagon. How much will the control group step in to co-opt these independent programs? This program already appears to have some government oversight. But still, very exciting times. So, hopefully the private companies will be a little more forthcoming with the information. If they see any alien ruins or current activity on the moon, will they be a little bit more open in telling the American public and the people of the world about what they saw? Doubtful, but one can hope. Meanwhile, Merrick, opinion journalist from The Hill, says all copies of the government's first formal UAP analysis, which assessed that they have interplanetary origins, were ordered destroyed. Ditto for this report, but a few survived. Why? Historically, such destruction is rare and involves illegality. Illegality involving the UFO cover-up? I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. Well, yeah, here we go. Subject, destruction of air intelligence report, yada, yada, yada. It is requested that action be taken to destroy all copies of top secret air intelligence report, subject analysis of flying object incidents in the U.S. 1948. That's wild, guys. That's wild. Meanwhile, check this out. Yeah. Those are jellyfish, guys. That guy has the steadiest footing of any human being ever. His life depends on him not losing balance. I do not want that job. My God. That's a lot of jellyfish, guys. That's a lot of frickin' jellyfish. Meanwhile, a lot of people had trouble seeing the Fort Worth UFO shared by NBC the other day, yesterday. So let me try this again. I think a lot of it was just got cut off from the top and the bottom of my screen sharing software. So I'm trying to show it in a reduced screen now so you can see it better. Hopefully the compression, and the processing won't completely strip it so you can see it better this time. But see if you can see it. It's in the right corner. It'll play it at different speeds. It's right there. See that? Coming down. It goes down and then it goes back up. And then they'll slow it down for you. And you can see it kind of make a turn. If you look, you have to kind of squint to see the pixelation right there where it makes the turn. And then it shoots back up like that. Hopefully you guys can see that better than yesterday. But there it comes down, very bright. It makes a turn and it starts to, it goes back up. It just shoots back up. It's very bright at the top and the bottom. But when it's, down here, it's not so bright. So, just a great sighting captured in Fort Worth. Hopefully you guys can see it better today. Speaking of cool UFOs, check this out. This was sent to me by Chumbles. Thank you, Chumbles. I think this is a really cool UFO. I mean, it kind of looks like a kite, but apparently in the article we'll read a little bit of, it debunks the idea of it being a kite. I mean, it really does look a lot like a kite, guys. It's just kind of moving back and forth. Although it's, got these smoky, anomalous streamers coming off of it. Is that, just a video artifact or whatever, making it look more anomalous than it really is? Okay, from the article it says, it's pretty high up in the air, changing forms. If it were a kite, it's large enough that it would need a plane to fly it up that high. I don't see what is making it change directions without some kind of help. And indeed, you don't see any strings or anything. You just have this weird ghostly, squid type of UFO. Is it related to Jeremy Corbell's Squid UFO? I don't know, but let me know what you guys think. Last but not least, a lot of people had their cell phones interrupted recently, and it was kind of a big deal, not just in one carrier, but a multi-carrier situation. And the answer seems to be a solar flare. An X-class solar flare just exploded on the sun. This sent a bombardment of high-energy protons into space, according to Matthew Capucci. Next, we'll look to see if a CME coronal mass ejection or eruption of solar material is heading toward Earth. X-class flares are the biggest and most powerful. So there you go. I think we have an answer for that, but let me know if you're not satisfied with that answer. Let me know what you think about everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter links below. If you want to support Cosmic Road, grab some merch in the merch store or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and they also frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.